What's up, Ada Nation? Welcome to Dapp Central, your home for everything blockchain and crypto. I'm your host here, Fareed. As a part of today's video, we're diving into the latest macro news updates, as well as updates going on in the Cardano ecosystem. First things first, we've got Bitcoin making a brand new higher high, now headed towards 69,000 as we currently sit around the $67,000 range. We've also got mainstream adoption coming in for a brand new blockchain-based game running on Avalanche, followed by updates surrounding Project Catalyst, DexHunter getting ready for V2, as well as World Mobile, Minutes Network, MELD, Xerberus, Indigo, and we'll close out by highlighting a Liqwid. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, my goal is to help you find your way here within the growing Cardano ecosystem. If you appreciate content like this, make sure to smash that thumbs up on the way in. If you want more, consider subscribing to the channel. And last but not least, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave those down below. Now, if you want to take your support a step further, I am a single stake pool operator, so consider delegating with the official Dapp Central stake pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. Jumping straight on into the first bit of news here, we've got mass adoption coming in from institutional investors, where it states US spot Bitcoin ETFs have now seen just today alone over $556 million in inflows, marking the biggest day of inflows since the month of June. So again, this is literally timed perfectly with the fact that Bitcoin has now broken out of a really big range. Now, that resistance was coming at around $65,000. And because we've now gotten through that, we're looking a little bit more bullish than before, now having officially established a change of trend, now making higher highs. So jumping over to the official Bitcoin charts here, I've already highlighted some key ranges. And so again, we've got the top of the range, which is around $73,000 coming in at the Bitcoin all-time high, which was made around February or March of 2024. We've got the 50% level or the mid-range here. And then we've got the very bottom where we've seen a lot of buying pressure coming in at some of these lows. Now that particular range bottom is around $56,000 to $57,000 US. Of course, again, we've seen brief wicks down, but there hasn't really been a lot of action below that particular range. So taking a look here, we now have, again, a higher high. So taking a look, if I just quickly draw this here, we can see that we were consistently getting a lot of lower highs, and lower lows, right? So this was literally just marking the downtrend. And here we had the first higher low, and then we had a higher high here, and we had a second higher low. And again, we've now broken into a brand new fresh high. So does this mean that we're ready, for October? It seems like that is definitely the case. A lot of altcoins beginning to sort of coil up here. And as we've seen Bitcoin sort of, trickling back down a little bit, alts are not losing as much ground against Bitcoin. So again, it does seem like the altcoins are beginning to prep for what appears to be the final leg, the most parabolic leg of the bull run, where we see basically the majority of the gains being made. So if you've been around here for the last couple of years, you definitely want to make sure to have a plan. Go ahead and get ready, not only thinking about entries, but also focusing on how to exit the market, because there will come a time where you'll have to make sure to go ahead and exit. Otherwise, you'll be caught holding the bag down for another 3 years into the next 4-year cycle. Now that we've got updates from Bitcoin out of the way, we now have, or we're getting closer to what appears to be mainstream adoption with off the grid coming in from the Avalanche network being mass adopted. So for anybody who's been in the space here, we've had Axie Infinity and a lot of games that have just sort of preyed on the words play to earn, or learn to earn, or just whatever you want to sort of call it. But this sort of model where you're able to play a game passively, right, for fun, but while still being able to earn tokens on the backside. And so a lot of those have failed historically. And we're now seeing a game that could potentially be the one that takes crypto to the next level, bringing in major adoption from gamers outside of the current space. So if you're not aware, Gunzilla's game, which is called Off the Grid, is basically like Fortnite. It's a little bit more realistic. So I would say maybe it's like a Fortnite with Call of Duty mixed right on into it. But it's a free-to-play, third-person battle royale game. So again, the free-to-play model has found to be successful. Epic Games released that for Fortnite, and that literally took them to the #1 game globally. And then on top of that, being able to now add blockchain technology, I think really brings the best of both worlds in the best interest for gamers alike. So this is a note here coming in from Avalanche's founder, Emil, who noted that over the first 5 days of the release of this particular game, we've seen more than 1 million wallets interacting with the Avalanche blockchain, which has now also racked up 53 million transactions. And so we also have Miles here, who's, I believe, from the Crypto Banter team, stating off the grid may finally be the catalyst that we need for much bigger gaming adoption, for a much bigger gaming altcoin run. Again, we've got some of the stats coming in here from Emil, the founder of Avalanche, with the block time being relatively quick. So almost, super quick settlement, 1 second there, compared to Cardano's 20 seconds. Then you have a total of 53 million transactions, 9 million blocks produced, and then a total of 5 million wallet addresses, which have now interacted or have basically been onboarded through off the grid. What's amazing is that when you're playing the game, you have no idea that you're actually using blockchain. And this is where I think the power of crypto really comes in. And you think about something like this, they were able to basically create more wallets, get more engagement, more activity and transactions created than we've seen with just traditional traders, which basically is what crypto is currently known for, right? So as we see more of these traditional use cases come about, I think we're going to really see mainstream picking up. And then that also in turn boosts a lot of these infrastructure platforms that make it capable, or that make it easy for gamers to jump on and use blockchain tech. All right, now that we've got the macro bits of news out the way, let's jump into Cardano specific updates, kicking things off with Project Catalyst. So if you're not aware, I believe the initial submission phase for proposals is now wrapped up. But keep in mind that you can earn ADA not only by actually voting once it's voting season, but by actually being a community reviewer as well. So you can register before October 20th and help to shape the future of Cardano while also earning ADA rewards based off of how many and how thorough of your reviews, or how thorough your reviews actually are. If you have any questions about Project Catalyst, they do have a fully dedicated funding round number 13 launch guide that breaks down what Project Catalyst is, breaks down the different categories funding, and then the different roles. Moving over, we've got updates coming in from DexHunter, which has officially announced that V2 is on the way. Now, I know that Melon will be at the upcoming Dubai Summit. I'll try to pick his brain there, but we will be sitting down at the end of this month around Halloweenish time to basically break down and talk about everything related to DexHunter. So could that be the timeline where we see V2 launching? That is a possibility, but definitely make sure to go ahead and turn on those bell notifications, especially if you're looking forward to this particular interview discussing one of the fastest growing DEX aggregators within the Cardano ecosystem. Now, moving over, while we're on the topic of DexHunter, the team has recently introduced what they call their order book V2. So this gives you the ability to just quickly see, right, and visualize all of the current price levels that are on the books. And then, of course, you can actually place orders directly from there, and you can also view your positions. And of course, this has been built by traders for traders. Moving along, we have some of the leaders when it comes to buy orders through DexHunter, with SNEC leading the way, followed by Iagon, Dedium, World Mobile, and Nuvola. Now, take a look here. What do you see sort of as the trend, right? And I'll give you a second to take a look. But aside from SNEC, everything else there is a DePIN project. This, I think, is really just a little bit of a taste or teaser of what's going to come. I think this will be by far one of the biggest sort of narratives. So I'm looking right now at meme coins, which SNEC is definitely that, DePIN and AI. So again, to see that a lot of the buy order leaders right now, 4 out of 5, basically 80%, are all DePIN projects, makes me even more bullish for what's to come. Next, we've got one-click trading, which has been submitted through the DexHunter team as a Project Catalyst funding round number 13 proposal. Now, I won't dive into the details, but you can read this for yourself here. We've got NMelon breaking down this feature, which basically allows for the DexHunter platform to have wallets that are non-custodial with smart contracts attached to instantly allow for swaps to basically take place with little to no effort from an end user's perspective. Last but not least, we've got WingRider's V2 now also being integrated straight into the DexHunter.io platform. And this team has made sure to go ahead and not just include AMM style protocols, but they've also rolled in some of the order book style protocols, I believe AXO and Genius Yield. That will do it there for updates surrounding the DexHunter platform. Next, we've got updates surrounding batch number 2 for drop number 2 for World Mobile, which has officially sold out just like the last 3 batches. So the hype continues, the demand continues, the sharing economy continues to grow, all while you, as a community member, can really take advantage of that opportunity. So right now, I personally don't own any AirNodes just yet, but I definitely will be looking into acquiring more AirNodes, especially as we reach the top of the bull market, using AirNodes as a stable way to generate income while still supporting my favorite projects and not necessarily having to worry about being all into crypto. Obviously not financial advice. You do with that as you wish, but just my 2 cents on what I plan to do from a strategic standpoint with World Mobile and their AirNodes. Now, this sale kicked off earlier today. It opened up at 5 p.m. UTC. They did have a whitelist for anybody who had any issues in prior batches, just to allow for them to make sure that they were able to get an allocation. But we saw House of Titans picking up NFTs here, and we also saw Nuvola buying NFTs. So not NFTs, excuse me, AirNodes. And so I believe that, as we continue to grow here, we're going to see bigger and bigger allocations coming about, for the sole fact that if a lot of the allocation is going towards partners, we still have a lot of community demand. So that's really what I'm going to be looking for, is to see how much the next batches are. And then obviously also the location of upcoming batches. So I believe the next one should be in Pakistan. Right now, there's been a focus within the West Coast, focusing on California and Reno, Nevada. Moving over, taking a look here at some of the current stats. We have 2,300, nearly 2,400 AirNodes currently live. We've got over 202 terabytes of data being consumed over a 24-hour rolling period. I remember, when this was at about 10 to 15 terabytes, and people were super excited for that amount of data, And so to see that now at 202 terabytes, I mean, again, the sharing economy is growing. I personally can't wait till we see petabytes, right? So thousands of terabytes. All right, in terms of unique users, we've now been pretty consistently over 100,000 users contributing to the sharing economy, with a total network uptime of nearly 900 days. As we get ready to close things out, don't forget that the WMT token migration is still ongoing. In terms of DEXs that have officially upgraded, we've got Aerodrome on Base, we have Uniswap on ETH, we've got PancakeSwap on BNB, and then we've got MinSwap on Cardano, which have now all added support for WMTX, which is the brand new token. So if you hold WMT, you want to make sure that you go ahead and migrate. The portal does close on this upcoming 21st of October. And in terms of this content, I've posted videos here on the channel, and then the World Mobile Alliance has also posted content. But keep in mind, there's also a dedicated FAQ put out by World Mobile in a video as well, explaining the entire process and highlighting any questions, right, that have come in from the community. Now, while we're speaking about DPIN, let's talk a little bit about the Minutes Network. So they're a telecoms player or project within the crypto space. And the founder is actually Mickey Watkins' brother. So we've got Mickey, basically one of the co-founders for World Mobile. And then we've got Josh Watkins, his younger brother, which did actually work for World Mobile, but has recently stepped away, obviously amicably, right, with his brother, to kick off Minutes Network. Now, they aren't direct competitors. Minutes, I believe, is within the telecoms termination business, where World Mobile is in the actual business of providing connectivity and core cellular services. Now, when it comes to Minutes Network, it states big news. We're thrilled to welcome gaming and Web3 legend Jamie King, the former co-founder of Rockstar Games, as their new chief marketing officer. I mean, I don't think that Rockstar needs any introduction here. If you've played Grand Theft Auto, if you've heard about Grand Theft Auto, then you definitely know who Rockstar Games is. And to be able to get one of their, early founders to now jump into Web3, number one is just bullish on the fact that somebody from Rockstar understands the tech, but then to have him onboarded as a marketing officer, I think is really key. So I'm going to be keen to sit down here with Josh, hopefully over the course of the next couple of days. I do apologize. There's been a little bit of lag there in terms of communication, but we will be sitting down. We'll be having an interview, and I'll definitely be making sure to ask him about Jamie and their marketing strategy for the rest of the year. Moving over, we've got updates coming in from MELD. However, before we jump into those, if you're enjoying updates like these, rapid fire daily content, make sure to smash that thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. If it's your first time stopping by and you want more content like this, consider subscribing. And last but not least, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave those down below. Again, if you want to take your support a step further, consider delegating. with the official Dapp Central Stake Pool, which is stake pool ticker DAPP. Moving right into MELD updates. Again, lending and borrowing went live not too long ago, and since then, we've seen fireworks. That includes the integration of Armor Wallet on the MELD blockchain. Now, if you're not aware, or if it's your first time hearing about Armor Wallet, I've actually sat down with their founder. I'm going to be releasing an interview here, hopefully soon. That's been in my backlog, so I do apologize for the slight delay there. However, Armor Wallet is an AI-powered crypto wallet designed to be your multi-chain trading assistant. Everything from managing your portfolio to executing complex trades and even more is all included. Upon launch, MELD will be one of the primary chains available within the Armor Wallet. Again, stay tuned for that interview, but discussing the actual wallet with the founder, he mentioned that you can basically use AI prompts to create DCA strategies, to sort of look across the biggest tokens, to be able to sort of automate a lot of different processes that right now are manual when it comes to crypto wallets. Now, interestingly enough, we also have Ken Oling, right, the founder and the CEO and the chief astronaut of MELD, now being added as an advisor for Armor. So it says we're honored to have Ken Blow, as an advisor, the founder of MELD, who basically brings in a ton of UI UX experience, which clearly shows in the design and the marketing of MELD. Moving right on over, the team continues to deploy more tokens on their blockchain with the integration of the Eigenlayer token from Ethereum. They've also gone ahead and added the Arkham token from Ethereum. And then actually 2 days from the time that I'm shooting this video, on October 17th, there's going to be a MELD with Us X space or Twitter space where we'll be hearing from Ken as well as Moonguard, their product manager. Next, we've got updates surrounding Xerberus. Xerberus has been killing it. I definitely, again, have to provide you guys more dedicated content, which will be coming soon. So definitely stay tuned. I've said that in my last couple of updates, but I promise I will deliver. Now, when it comes to Xerberus, they've highlighted the fact that their NFTs have some new utility. If you're not familiar with them, they are the Xercher NFTs. You can just type in XERCHERS on jpeg.store, and that will be the only collection that pops up. And I believe it's the only NFT offered by this particular team. Now, again, if you're not familiar with Xerberus, they're a risk rating protocol building here on Cardano. They've just announced the fact that they're going to be branching out into ETH, but then they're also going to be building their own blockchain or their own layer one. In addition to that, they'll be bringing or onboarding brand new Oracle methods and also launching what they call index vaults, which are basically baskets of different assets within different ecosystems that they've done due diligence on that should be outperforming the traditional altcoins, for example, like ADA. Now, jumping back here and focusing on the NFTs here, it breaks down the fact that the NFT utility has evolved over time. And at this point, moving forward, anybody who holds an NFT will now be able to actually operate a node on the Xerberus L1 when that goes live. What's crazy is that there's only 768 of these NFTs currently available. We've seen from an analytics standpoint a lot of trading volume officially coming in. As you guys can see, we've got trades coming in 41 minutes ago, 2 hours ago, and a lot when this announcement actually came out about 16 hours ago. So the floor price has basically skyrocketed. It was around 1,000 ADA literally, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it's now just at about 4,000 ADA. That's exactly why it pays to be glued to the ground here, getting a lot of this alpha and to be able to pick up some of these NFTs before a lot of the mainstream adoption comes in. Now, of course, not financial advice, but I did want to quickly highlight that there. Now, this particular article not only discusses the NFT's utility, it talks about generating fees and how node operators are basically paid out and sort of the core services or functionality of the Xerberus L1. That includes providing risk ratings, which obviously can be used by lending and borrowing protocols or DeFi platforms. And then they also aim to provide their vaults. Now, here, again, they've got some more breakdowns of some of the different core features or aspects of the nodes, what they actually do, right? So again, they provide risk ratings, collateral pricing, leverage pricing, options pricing. And then from an end user's perspective, they're able to basically use this for options, DeFi, lending, and any indexes that they might want. So that said, it seems like Xerberus is officially heating up. I'll be sitting down hopefully soon with Simon, as well as Noah and potentially Matias to dive into some of the details about their upcoming network. Now, again, here it breaks down the value of the license and exactly all that you get by actually holding one of those NFTs. Now, moving over here, as we get ready to close things out, I mentioned the Oracle. So it states that this particular team, I believe, will be creating sort of a new paradigm, right? And so let's see exactly what that's all about. But here they break down basically what an Oracle is, and the fact that this basically allows for pricing in a lot of metrics that are off chain to be brought on chain and utilized within crypto or blockchain based products or protocols. Moving over, as we get ready to wind down here, we've got updates coming in from Indigo with Iris officially out in open source. Now, if you're not familiar with Iris, this was, I believe, funded through Project Catalyst in one of the earlier rounds, maybe funding round number 6 or funding round number 7. But essentially what this does is it takes a look at all of the DEXs in Cardano and it aggregates a lot of analytics. So this includes swap data, deposits, withdrawals, zaps, right? Or liquidity provisioning, liquidity pools, liquidity pool states, pooled assets, order books, and even order book orders and cancellations. So if you want an API, if you're a builder out there and you want access to a lot of this data, in terms of requirements, it's all set up here. But once you've got those minimum requirements met, you're now able to get access to that open source data or into that public data through the open source of Iris, which was built out by Indigo. Last but not least, we have a massive yield bearing opportunity here coming in through Liqwid. But before that, we have this particular team also resubmitting their Binance token listing. So again, the writing appears to be on the wall. We've got Dedium, Iagon, Liqwid, we've got Indigo, Snek, all of the top projects in Cardano resubmitting their listings ahead of the Cardano Summit, where we know the CEO right now, currently standing in that position, will be at the Cardano Summit to speak and to have a fireside chat with Frederick Regard. So bullish news about potential Cardano native tokens listings coming to Binance. Now, as we get ready to close out here, I want to highlight a crazy yield opportunity here. So if you want to provide USDC, of course, bridging it over through OneChain first, you can earn a whopping 20% APY. However, that's not the best part. If you hold USDM, you can now earn over 40% APY. Of course, this is dynamic based off of supply and demand by providing your USDM straight to the market for Liqwid V2. As it stands right now, we can see that there's over 1 million USDM currently borrowed. And in terms of available liquidity, looks like there's about $90,000 worth of liquidity that is available to be borrowed from the Liqwid platform. That will do it here for today's update, breaking down everything going on in Cardano, briefly talking about Bitcoin breaking and making new all-time highs, talking about off the grid and mass gaming adoption, as well as DexHunter, World Mobile, Minutes, MELD, Xerberus, Indigo, and Liqwid. If you found any portion of today's updates to be helpful or insightful, I would appreciate you if you could smash that thumbs up. If it's your first time stopping by the channel and you want more content like this, consider subscribing. And last but not least, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave those down below. That said, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.